So, Cancer. Sorry that I didn't do your reading last night. I was too tired. But anywho, without further ado, essentially the reading is going to go like this. Pretty much, you'll be getting one Dark Goddess Oracle card, one Daemon Tarot Oracle, and then your Tarot deck is the Tarot de la Newt. Essentially, each sign gets its own tarot deck, but they all get the same pull of an oracle and a daemon tarot card. Oracle, yeah, whatever. But pretty much it goes like this. Pretty much, if you don't know if you have a Cancer Ascendant, you can go with Cancer Sun. But if you have a Cancer Ascendant, it's better to go about it that way. And if you're a cross watcher, and I have nothing against it, just make sure that, you're using, common sense with all this stuff. And other than that, sit back, relax, enjoy, and hopefully, this will be humorous because sometimes the readings get a little cray-cray. There's one. Your Dark Goddess for the month of March is Nox, or Nyx, the primordial goddess of the night. Her word is respite, and it's funny that of all the goddesses you get for this month, you happen to get technically the first divine mother goddess to exist. It is true. First was Nyx from Chaos, and essentially Nyx is everybody's trillion great grandmother, pretty much. Everything that exists and everything that can be seen and perceived, yeah, technically it's part of Nyx, because Nyx was the dark. And she's also the one that is intentionally blind, meaning that she loves her children all equally, but she also punishes them in the same equal manner. So essentially, you have to be very careful of how you go about decisions and how you're going about making pretty much decisions that you have to be very cautious with. And you can't be telling a lot of people about what you're trying to accomplish. Because most of the time, if you tell everybody what's going on, that just opens the door for a lot of people to come in and whoops, knocked it over. But I'm also consider doing equivocation. That's not lying, but it's also not telling the whole truth. It's like getting enough to get by. But don't be malefic about it. Because most of the time, the best things are kept in the dark. And in order for you to really strengthen your intuition, you have to be able to see without your eyes. At least that's what I'm getting. Make sure you're not like, hey everybody, look what I'm trying to do this month in March. Whatever you're trying to do, deem fit. Now regarding from the Daemon Tarot, we shall see what decides to come out of this. Without, trying to break my wrist while I'm trying to do this. You have Valak. And Valak is a left-handed divine that looks innocent, but he can pretty much become like Macbeth. Like Lady Macbeth's quote from the play. Be like the innocent flower, but really be the serpent underneath it. So, possibly you may be being advised to this month to not look like you could be a potential threat to something. Or to make yourself be completely overlooked. But you have other intentions in mind. It's trying to keep something that you're trying to accomplish hidden and make yourself not be found out about it and looked over. It could be anything from if you're trying to, I'll go with it. If you're trying to woozy-woo somebody, nothing wrong with it. Maybe you want to keep it on the down low so you won't have a town hoochie come after you and take your love interest. Because that's not something that's fun. You might be trying to get a new job position and you're the only one that knows about it being posted and you're just being very sneaky about it. Or heck, you may have found something that is a very good motivating force or a new passion, and you're enjoying it and you don't want anybody else finding it out and then taking the resources in order for you to keep doing this new endeavor. Or you might be communicating with somebody that you don't want to be known that you're conversing with. But that's all up on you. Nothing wrong with it. It's just that be advised that you don't have to tell everybody what you're doing. And you don't have to be completely upfront about it, because at the end of the day, it's your life. You decide who gets what. And the spread is going to be just a simple cross spread, one on the top, left, bottom, right, and then one in the middle. The one in the middle is kind of like your overall standing at the current moment and how your overall standing is. We have High Priestess, and funny enough, this is a Cancerian card. So in this current position, you're kind of aware that you have to be in kind of in the dark, because the High Priestess is very skillful in using her intuition and using the sight that's not of the 3D world. She's able to see without her eyes, quote, quote. But also she doesn't speak that much because she already knows what's going on, and she doesn't want to waste her words on somebody that's a dimwit. You may be trying to be very quiet about something. If you're plotting something, oh well, if you have to get your desire somehow, go at it. Do what you have to do to make yourself happy, but if it's possible to not, harm someone, that's always the most desired route, but sometimes you gotta break some nails and, gotta snatch some weaves in order to, get your want. Sometimes you just have to do it. It is what it is. And I'm also just getting this too. If for some reason there is something involving like a book, or there's a desire that has a lot of expectations to be achieved, and if you're trying to get a hold of it and trying to achieve this goal you've been working so hard on, this actually might be an indication that possibly you might obtain the victory in this goal pursuit. Potentially. Regarding the financial standing, the health, the wellness, security, and incoming gains, we have the Page of Twigs. This depiction does not really show that much, but we have a young feminine figure, and she's in, it looks like it's Christmas time in a way, and she's in a brush that looks like it's holly, and she kind of looks like she has a look of like being so intently focused. So when it comes to like your financial standing and your sense of security and health, you might be getting a message that's like saying, listen, you're not going to believe this, but there's something serious. But the good thing is that it's going to be a really good motivating force. Or it could also be hinting at a very possible obstacle and challenge that is about to come right towards you regarding your earth sector and security, health, finances. You actually might be, if you're in a work position, you might be having to pretty much show the ropes to a new person on the job, and they might act very childish and very optimistic. Kind of like how when there's a new person at work and they're so cheery, and you think, oh, that's going to go away in 2 days. You just wait. Oh, it's not going to go away. You know nothing, kid. 2 days later, I hate this place. Told you. So you actually might be trying to pretty much give orientation to a brand new person in the workforce. Or you might be given a message that's going to be kind of inspiring your need to improve on your finances and your health or anything of the sorts. Regarding air, blowing it, pretty much that's intelligence, communications, going to increase your ability to obtain knowledge, share ideas, blow stuff, communicate, not like that, you nasty. Okay, what's blowing it? Nine of Pentacles. That's actually a really nice one to have. Because, well, in this depiction, though, however, the woman looks like she's frozen like an ice cube. Looks like she has frostbite all over her. Now, this being said, that's not a bad thing. In the communication sector, you're kind of making it known that, listen, you're not going to influence me. I'm not going to be swayed. I'm going to be fixated on getting whichever I'm deeming fit done. I know my worth. I know exactly what needs to be done. And if you try and mess with me, whoops, sorry. Don't know why my phone just went derp. But whenever somebody is thinking that they're, going to try and mess with you and get you off kilter, just kindly remind them that, look, I know my worth. I know what I need to do. And I didn't ask for an opinion. So I'm going to be fixated on this. If there's been something that's going a long time in a big circle, you possibly will be overcoming it, like of a reoccurring thing of like, okay, friends back. Okay, now they're mad again. Now they're happy again. Now they're mad. Well, this is them actually finally stepping into that obnoxious cycle. You actually should also consider bettering the communication that you give to other people and also making sure that you're up to date with any kind of needed training or needed things that you need to learn regarding anything in your life. Because the Nine of Pentacles is a card of having pretty much self-confidence, and is also the card of Virgo. Obstacle or the motivating force for the lovely March. Justice, okay. Obstacle, okay. If you did a big whoopsie, be prepared because something might come and hit you upside the head. But also a motivating force, if you've invested towards something and you're being discouraged about it, or if you're not getting the compensation that you need for insert whatever you need done here, this might be an indication that fate is like, okay, time for you to get your, just desserts for your effort. But also I'm getting to, if for some reason, if you have to be the one to bring the karmic backlash onto someone, have at it. Do a flip while you're at it. Make sure you get him right in the family jewels. Because this woman in red, she looks like she's on a mission that she's about to, whack someone with the scales and also just, kind of behead someone with that lovely rapier she has in her hand. But also, since she is wearing red, maybe you might need to be a little bit more feisty in, administering this karmic hit upside the head if needed. Just make sure that it's just. If it's not just, then you made the whoops, and now it's going to hit you right back in the head. So just be prepared if you have to hit someone karmically for a big whoopsie they did to you. Maybe that's where you have to be. Just don't be too noticeable about it. Don't be speaking too much about it, and just make yourself look innocent and not really say a word about it. And keep to yourself. Regarding emotions, the cheesy stuff, the oh Romeo part, the love me, whatever the heck you kids say nowadays regarding that cheesy stuff. We have the Ace of Twigs, the Ace of Wands. So, well, if you're looking for something, if you're looking for a new stick to grow up, well, there's your cue that you'll probably find a more than fitting stick to go with. We're all ladies here, calm down. The Ace of Wands can most definitely show that you might be encountering a love interest that makes you feel alive, if you catch my drift. They may, make your adrenaline go a little bit too high. They may be very lively. They may even, let you handle their stick. Don't take it like that, you nasty. But also at the same time, the issue with the Ace of Wands in the relationship part and the love part is that if you don't know how to maintain the flaming, it's going to go. So you got to keep that spark going. If you're currently involved with somebody or have somebody in mind already, this is actually a good indication that, we're bringing up the, we're going to start making things all steamy hot and, make everybody faint because they're sweating too much. That's just nasty. Just make sure that in this moment you kind of just enjoy it. Just make sure you don't get a little too hot-headed and feisty about it. But because since it's in relationships and the whole idea of trying to keep it secret as like the reoccurring theme here, make sure that you communicate your worth and that you have a lot of expectations to be given, having it be justice at the bottom, equal give and take, and if you don't get the equal give and take, you're going to be not having it. But primarily this month, you actually may find out that, wow, this stick is really hot to handle. If you want to take it like that, it's okay. Just go ahead and take it if you know what I mean. But just, the idea of keeping it innocent, you know what they say about seduction? It can be so innocent, then all of a sudden when the door closes and it's just you and insert other person here, they kind of realize, oh, I completely am not prepared that this is probably going to be a BDSM moment. If that's the case, it is what it is. Do it better than Rihanna's S&M thing or whatever. So, Cancer, that was yours for March. I hope you enjoyed it, because, it was good. I kind of liked how it went. It was sweet, and then I was like, okay, we're getting nasty with this. We're all ladies here. It could be worse. So next up is going to be Leo, the lion, the king of the jungle, or whatever the heck. So I'll see you guys in the next few seconds for the next one for Leo.